Effective Communication Skills, a practical guide that develops and improves your way of speaking effectively in relationships, in work, in the family, and in the life of a couple. By Michael Cooper. Read by Craig Hannaway. Introduction. Effective Communication Skills. Human beings are supreme beings because not only are they intelligent, they can also organize and overcome any obstacle that comes their way. However, human beings are not mind readers and need to be communicated with so that they can understand each other. Poor communication is the #1 cause of broken relationships, whether at work, family, or other partnerships. Communication is a skill that has to be practiced so one can be able to function fully as a social being. People with poor communication skills often end up feeling left out or lonely because they cannot pass their messages across effectively. Communication can either be verbal or nonverbal. Of the two, the nonverbal method is the most effective method of communication because it enables one to understand what is not being said and the emotions behind the message being passed. Thus, during the communication process, nonverbal communication should be paid attention to because it informs one what to respond, when to react, and how to respond. It also improved received relationships effectively as messages will be passed, and it also prevents conflict and misunderstanding. Effective communication can be impeded by distractions, poor listening skills, low emotional intelligence levels, inability to read body language, and low empathy levels. Conversations should not be monologues, which means that all parties involved should actively take part. The listener should actively listen, while the speaker should be adept in passing the information. Personal biases should be put aside during the communication process to ensure that the message is perceived as intended. When listening, people often pretend to listen by nodding their heads actively, pick out pieces of information to respond to, concentrate all their energy into the conversation, although this happens on very few occasions. After listening, people often do the following: evaluate to assess whether they agree with the information given or they do not agree with it. Examine.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?